Afternoon, folks. I hope you are well. How you all doing? Smoking Piper, how you doing? And Hillbilly, good morning. So this morning, or this afternoon I should say, I'm working on a Shape 626 A Bartek. So that's where I'm up to. This is the pipe, which is my own pipe, and that's the one I'm doing at the moment. That's a commission. Ciao Mario, amico mio. There we go. That's still at the rough shaping stage, but it's starting to take shape. Got the slot in and the basic wave, the LCS wave, and lots of hand sanding and shaping of the stem to do. In here I've got some Marlin flake from 2002. How you all doing? What are you guys smoking? Afternoon, Rich. You're wondering how you doing? I'm live. You got them in our stuff? Solari 633. I haven't had that in a long while. I do have some. I've got I think I've got a 100-gram tin jarred up, and I've got a sealed 100-gram tin of 633, and I think I've got some with the Perikin as well. Cherry vanilla in a Falcon. The machine I'm shaping on is simply a motor with a sanding disc in it. It's not a special machine. As I say, it's just the motor with a drill chuck on it, and then just the sanding disc, which you can buy anywhere. You know, a Velcro backing thing, and I use different size discs depending on the stage that I'm up to. So I start off with a 5 or a 6-inch disc, and then I go down to a 2.5-inch disc for when I'm getting more into the detail of the shape. you do see lots of different style setups. You know, every pipe maker just has their way of getting the sanding done. It took me a long time to actually get my setup like this, even though it's extremely simple. Here in the UK, the motors that you can buy, the shaft on the motor is different to diameter to the shafts that you get in America, and all the sanding, the pipe making tooling that you can buy in America doesn't fit. So I had to come up with this, and it's something similar to that I've seen with other people here in the UK. So in the UK, it's pretty much the only way to go. At one stage, I tried to get a motor from America here, and Jeff WV Motors is an extremely generous guy. He actually sent me a motor from America. I bought a transformer here, but I still couldn't get it to work. And then I was going to give it to another pipe maker, sort of fledgling pipe maker here in the UK, but I just couldn't get it to work, and it was too much hassle. It just didn't work out. I've been making pipes now for about 5 years, 4.5, 5 years. Yeah, I mean the J. Allen French wheel, I have one of those, but I use it very seldom because this is one of the J. Allen ones, which actually Mike at Briar Blues sent me as a gift, which is again very, very generous. I don't know if you could see it sandblasted in there, the name J. Allen Designs over there. You might just be able to see it. But so I bought some of these discs that for a while you could buy on Vermont Freehand. I think he may still do them, I don't know. I bought a few of these, but because they're such a hassle to put on, I only use it occasionally because I don't want to have to keep changing it. So I use it for when I'm doing a pipe which has a very tight junction there, because it's got the sandpaper going over the edge, so you have this edge cuts as well. So for that junction there, it's very useful, but I hardly ever use it. It's only when I'm doing a pipe which is very, very tight and I can't get in there with my existing disc setup. But yeah, I mean, there is a bigger one as well. So this is useful. So this officially goes into a Beal arbor, which is an American thing. I just put this straight into my drill chuck, and that's it. I mean, I don't worry about ruining the thread because I'm not going to be using one of the Beal arbors. So I just put that straight into the drill chuck. Hello. Hi. I think it's 1:15. I think you missed me already. If there is, it's 7ish. I think I'll find out. I'll let you know. I don't have the timetable, but I'll see if I can find out. All right, bye. Afternoon, Aardvark. I use just regular sandpaper, wet and dry sandpaper. I do have the cloth backed, and I do have the mesh. I have a whole selection of them, and I've used them all to see which ones I prefer the most, and I prefer the paper. It does get, hi Dorian, how you doing? The paper stuff does get clogged up, and the mesh one is supposed to be less cloggy and all of that kind of stuff, but I find that the mesh one, it's too abrasive on my hands because it's mesh, so it's kind of abrasive on both sides. And just, okay, I can do it with gloves, but I prefer actually to work without gloves, even though I'm wearing really thin ones now, surgical gloves now. But I need to be able to feel the briar. I need to be able to feel that it's smooth, that there's no ridges and bumps and that kind of thing. And say if I was wearing the mesh ones, it would just cut my fingers up to nothing. And if I was using gloves, these gloves it will probably go through. And if I wear any thicker gloves, then I don't have enough tactility. So I've settled on regular sandpaper. I mean, it's not high street store sandpaper. I mean, that stuff is not up to it, but this is better quality stuff. Yeah, it's a nice shape. I like it. It's become quite popular. Hi Hamdram. This is actually a commission. It's very similar to the Rosebud, but there are some very key differences with the Rosebud. And they're both really quite difficult shapes to make. But they're nice. The end result is nice. Yeah, well, it would be a Rosebud. The main key difference between the two is that the Rosebud, as you say, if it flared out more, but essentially the flare of the rose is the same width as the flare over here, whereas this one, the flare here is wider. The base is wider than the rim. Well, I'm still waiting on mine, Dorian. Hope it works out. Do let us know when you get yours and how long it takes. Which cigars did you order out of interest? You went for the Churchill, right? That's a big cigar. It's actually a really good workshop cigar because I could smoke it, put it down. It can last me 2 or 3 days. So that's the rough button. Yeah, the pricing is just you can't beat it. I mean, it's ridiculous to buy anything here in the UK if you can buy it there for a fraction of the money, literally a fraction of the money. If you do the international economy, which isn't tracked, for half a dozen cigars, $3-4 for shipping. As I've said before, as long as you keep your order really small, you've got every chance of it not getting stopped on the way, and the shipping is cheap. It can be a bit of a nervy time waiting for it to come. Sometimes I get it within 5 days, sometimes it can take 3 weeks, especially now at the moment with our postal system being up the creek at the moment. So I'm still waiting on an order. I ordered it at the same time as Tim Hermit Piper. He got his already last week. I'm still waiting. Thank you, Dorian. Yeah, I think that's a good point, Humdrum. I'm not going to mention the names, but there are a couple that I used to buy from regularly in the States, and I've had to stop because to ship anything before you even start, even if it's one tin, it's like $50. Just forget it. It's a shame. And I think it's also partly because some of them are just used to a particular courier, and they just don't want to shop around, and it's a hassle for them to set it up on their website with different pricing structures, and that I can understand, but it's just, it comes to a point where it's just not worth their while to mess around with it, so they just put one on, you buy it, fine, you don't, they're not bothered. I don't think most of the websites are not looking for the international business because it is a hassle. Nice button. Which rebate are you talking about? Where it goes back here? I don't know why people do that, I must be honest. Yeah, I've experimented with that myself. I don't actually see any practical difference in the comfort or anything. I actually think that what I aim for is to make no sharp edges, so that everything is rounded off in your mouth, so nothing catches on your lips or on whatever. Sometimes you get a pipe which is really this lip, the back lip, not this edge, this edge of the lip can be quite sharp, and eventually it can make your lips a little bit sore. So I sand that edge as well, and my aim is to make every edge on the bit, to make it rounded, so that there's no hard edges. So you can see that's rounded. I don't know if you can see that in there, but that is kind of dips. That lip there just sort of dips inwards, so it's nice and rounded. You see the difference between that edge I haven't sanded yet and that edge which I have sanded. I don't know if you can see the difference. Really important to put timing onto the button, because like I've always said, that's the bit that connects you to the pipe. If that's not comfortable, you're not going to return to that pipe as often as you might. So it's really, I spend a lot of time on the button making sure it's comfortable. Hey Mark, how you doing? No, thankfully I've not had an issue with smoking pipes. Never had an issue. What's APW? Oh, pipe wandering, right. Simon reference smoking pipes. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Dorian. The last tin I ordered was actually the order I'm waiting for. Was a 50-gram tin of Orly Golden Slice. I think it was just $10. I watched your got GLPs on at 20%. Oh, okay. Somebody did say to me that I should try a I don't know if it was a GLPs or a Cornell and Deal. There was something he said I should try a cracking blend. I don't remember what it was. It was on one of the lives. I didn't do London Calling last night because Curmudgeon Piper had some kind of celebration that he does every year, so I didn't want to spoil that, so I just said, fine, no problem. I was quite happy to just sit and watch it. And this morning I watched Mark's and Gary's video. Entertaining as always. Always nice to see you guys getting together, exchanging your gifts, having a ball, having a laugh, and your usual malarkey that you two get up to. Sorry, Dorian. To be honest with you, I had a photography job last night. I got back. The whole thing got delayed for whatever reason. It was an engagement party and they were waiting on people to arrive. I didn't get home until about 20 to 12 and I was really tired. I had some problems with my feet as well and they flared up yesterday, which means I was on my feet working whilst my ankles and my feet were really in a lot of pain. So to be honest, I wasn't really in the mood. I would have, I would have gone on. It's what, I do it every week, so I would have gone on, but I think I jumped on the excuse as soon as I saw Curmudgeon on, because I was really not in a good place, in a lot of pain. Not as bad this morning, thankfully. Yeah, just as well all round. Couldn't agree more. It was a very timely excuse for me to jump onto. Sometimes it can be a bit of a pressure, when you do something every single week. You kind of, some weeks I just want to chill, I just want to relax, enjoy a smoke or watch something or whatever. And once in a while I'll do that, it's not a contractual thing or anything, but when you do something week in, week out, it's a commitment, you kind of feel an obligation, even though it's not an obligation, but it's a personal obligation, And that's really why sometimes I've sort of thought to myself that, I'm not going to go on, I've got really nothing to say, and I hate going on with nothing to say. And even though I don't plan them, I don't write out notes or anything like that, it's all completely off the cuff, but usually we can end up having a decent chat. But sometimes I just feel, absolutely nothing to say, which is why a lot of the lives now are shorter than they used to be, the London callings. I used to do them sometimes 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and now they tend to be about an hour and a half, 2 hours, which is long enough. Afternoon, Alex. Get some nice grain popping through there. Some nice grain. Actually, the hand is doing very, very well. Thankfully, it's the skin is pulling together now. It's healing, and isn't really any pain unless I really prod it. But it's almost there. I'm not worried about infection anymore because it's pretty much sealed up. It's crusting over, and the edges are pulling together. I should have probably had stitches, but I was very careful with it, and it's almost healed. I ordered a box of these surgical plasters, and I used, which is actually very, very good, I used this Savlon healing gel, and it doesn't sting like Savlon, that like the spray, the antiseptic spray. So this is antiseptic, but it also promotes healing. And I just put a blob on it, plaster on top, changed it maybe 2 or 3 times a day, and it's really, really done the trick. It's good stuff. Stitches are for snitches. Thanks for asking, Alex. Who's that? The Fuchs. They're quite funny actually, but most of the stuff that they consume is a bit out of my reach, to be honest. Whether it be accessories, alcohol, cigars. I could probably buy my house just with the rings on their fingers. Pay off my mortgage. Morning, Jeremy. Your pipe is in the system. It's out there somewhere, winging its way over to you. Really? It's going to be a northwards. Nice. Well, it's actually, I think, a very appropriate pipe for northwards, or for any Latakia blend, because I think that just aesthetically, I think that a black pipe, especially a textured black pipe, just in my mind seems to be the right thing for Latakia. It's kind of a mind sort of visual instinct, you know. Latakia in my mind is more of a darker, kind of wintry, heavier tobacco. So it works well, it partners well with a darker, heavier, sort of deeper looking pipe. Yeah, exactly. Oh, well done, Mark. Any problems? Did you get it direct from Boswell's? How did they declare it? No problems with customer. How did they declare it on the box? What did they write? Hobby suppliers, or did they write something else? Because I had a bunch of stuff in my box in my basket on the Boswell website, but I sent them an email to ask them how they ship stuff these days, but they haven't answered me yet, so I haven't pulled the trigger. All right, Humdrum, have a good one. Thank you very much. Yeah, the hand's doing well, thankfully. Yeah, so I had a feeling that they changed their policy and they had to do things officially, because the regulations there were getting tighter. So I was a bit nervous about that. Perhaps 8 ounces, small enough package. Did you order anything else with it? Just sending an update picture to the customer. I haven't really been buying tobacco myself. I think the only one I would like to get is Northwoods, just to keep my yearly vintage going. I think I've got from 2020. I've got 2018, 2019, 2020. I'm not sure if I've got 21. I might have, but I certainly haven't got from 22. Just gonna clean the plateau. This briar produces such a sweet smell when I cut it. Right, so that's the top cleaned off. Alright, we're up to 800 and then we're going to stain. Almost done with this pipe. And then on to the next. Old Dominion's really nice. I'm all right, Mark. Thank you very much. At some point, I'm going to be giving away tobacco. I've got tobacco which I'm really just not going to smoke hardly, and it's a shame for it not to get smoked. I took out a load of jars from here to allow room to put my briar up. I've got a huge box full of it outside in the garage now. At some point, I'm going to just bag them up and give them out to people who maybe don't get to try some of these tobaccos. Especially guys in the UK who don't have access to the American tobaccos and are not into doing overseas shipping, that kind of stuff. So I'd like to do some kind of campaign about that at some point in the future. Maybe do a thing on my channel about it and get people to sort of get involved. It's something which is just sort of at the back of my mind. I haven't really formulated it yet, but I'll do something at some point with it. tin bits. Yeah, I'm thankful I'm at the stage now where I don't really feel the need to get any even the rare ones, that people are always running after. I did all of that for a few years at the beginning. Had great fun doing it. I'm a big fan of the idea of chasing tobaccos. Some people think it's not the way to go, but I think just do whatever makes you happy, and I enjoyed the chase. And I was lucky enough to get some really nice tobaccos. And I've got enough to be able to be getting on with in terms of the 3, 4, 5 maybe blends that I smoke regularly, and the rest I enjoy dipping into from time to time. Like this morning I had this tin of Marlin Flake from 2002. This was a tin I got from Pipe Stud a while back. I think James actually got it on my behalf, because it's always complicated buying stuff from Pipe Stud if you're overseas. You can do it, but it's complicated, so it's just easier to get somebody in the States to buy it on your behalf, and James was kind enough to do that. I've got another tin. There was 2 tins I bought at the same time. One was Marlin Flake and the other one was, I'm not sure which one it was. It might have been Hal of the Wind, I'm not sure, but also very old. When I first got this, so maybe a year or so ago, this was 20 years old. I smoked it the first time. I really didn't enjoy it. Didn't taste good at all. It's been in the jar now, I don't know how long, maybe a year, and it tastes really good. It looks very similar to Rich Dark Flake. It actually tastes quite similar, not really, but there is elements of it, and I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah, I saw that Over a Pipe was constantly doing updates, 2 or 3 updates on the drops. We do get them here, and in the form of JF Germain's blends. It's essentially, most of them are very similar to the ones that we have here. And I've actually I've mentioned this before too, I've spoken to Robert Germain about this. I called him up a few times, I've spoken to him. Essentially, they have licenses, or contracts with companies like Arango over there in the States, and they have a contract with those blends and the Esoterica stuff, which is for the American market. They still produce very similar tobaccos for here, so I mean, we know that the Rich Dark Flake and Stonehaven are nigh on the same thing, maybe some minor differences, but essentially the same blend. For me, And So to Bed is very, very similar to the Royal Jersey Latakia blend. I find them to be identical. Which other ones can I think of? 1820 Flake and Penzance, very, very similar. Special Latakia Flake, I haven't really yet found the comparison, but it's only because I haven't smoked all the Esotericas. I've actually got hey Jeff, how you doing? Didn't see you come in. I've got a few gold bags somewhere packed away, some of the ones which aren't that commonly bought. There are always a few blends which, when there is a drop, there's always those ones which are left behind because nobody wants them, like the Peacehaven and Dorchester and those kind of things, although Dorchester is actually a very nice tobacco. Aged Escudo, nice. Yeah. Jeff, next time I send you something, remind me. And if you, I don't know, I'm not saying you should buy a pipe, but if you do happen to, it's just that the shipping is so expensive, I'd rather combine it. But if you do happen to, then remind me and I'll send you over some Rich Dark Flake. I can't promise you a whole bag, but I'll send you over a decent amount if you remind me. Yeah, I've been noticing that some of the regular blends, from time to time they go in and out of availability, like what Golden Sliced has done recently. It's been in and out of availability. They went completely out of stock everywhere, as Jeff knows, because he was very kind enough to get me some tins. But those are the last few. They went out of stock everywhere. Then they came back in stock. The 100-gram tins, I think, have sold out again. Maybe not everywhere, but certainly on smoking pipes. No, and they only had the 50-gram tins. So there's definitely, it's become a lot more popular than it used to be, I think. Have you not got any Rich Dark Flake, Jeff? Jason, how you doing? They're all good. I personally buy from GQ Tobaccos, but they're all good. I just find Sam, because I've gotten to know him, you get a very personal service, and I'm sure you will too. He's a very, very likable fellow, very approachable, and he'll help anybody out if he can. Alright, as long as you're not in a rush for it, Jeff. We'll work it out. I have to look and see what I've got. Yeah, my smoking shop is really good. GQ Tobacco, I think, also GQ Tobaccos, I find their website very, very user friendly. I just find it works well. It's bright, it's easy to navigate, the design is fresh, so I just like that. What I have noticed is that a lot of sites now have stopped using PayPal, which is a pain in the backside. So I think PayPal will not allow tobacco sales. So I think that's a bit of a problem. Why? I don't know. I mean, that's a very sort of, for essentially a banking system to have an opinion on what you're selling. It's not poison. To me, seems like a very overreaching kind of policy to have for essentially it's just buying stuff online. It's an online business. Who are you to tell them what they should and shouldn't sell, as long as it's not illegal? And tobacco is not illegal. So I find that a bit odd, and it's their loss, really. I mean, they're losing out, to be honest. But I guess, I assume PayPal is a private business, so I guess they can do what they like, as long as they're not being racist or prejudicial. Righty-ho. We can clean the block and stain. I haven't decided what stain I'm going to use. I think I'll do a darker stain because it'll contrast nicely with a relatively light stem. Yeah, I was saying earlier on, Jeff, it's become quite a popular, between this and the Rosebud, they've become really popular. It's just that I do find them quite difficult to make. The shaping is quite hard. It might look simple, but shaping is not always simple. It's deceptive because you can't really do this on the lathe. I mean, you can do that top curve, but you end up resanding it anyway. But getting that sort of that bulbous thing there, it might look simple, but it just really isn't. So this one is going to a commissioner. Trying to remember if he's in the UK or not. Yeah, that brick carve for the Crown series actually looked really nice. I did a Rosebud version of that with a carve with that brick effect, and I was really sorely tempted to keep that pipe. I really liked that. Lovely feel in the hand, really nice. But it did sell in the end, so that was that. Quite foggy out today. It's a really not a very nice day out there, but now that I'm indoors, I don't get to see it, I don't get to feel it. I'm warm. What a difference. What an unbelievable difference compared to being outside. Well, I'm probably going to do another Crown series for King Charles's coronation, and then I'll probably resurrect it again for the anniversary of the Queen's passing, and then maybe each year on the anniversary of her passing. I want to try and make sure that it stays as a limited series, so I don't overdo it. I still have that castle one which didn't sell, so I've put it away now, which I'll bring out again when I do another run. Yeah, I didn't actually keep one for myself, a Crown series pipe. Should have done, thinking about it now. Maybe next time round. I think I should do more just regular shapes that I do, but with the brick effect, without it being necessarily, all the detail. Make it a bit more affordable. Ah, that would be nice. What I would really like, if I could afford it, is to get a pipe rack with doors on. you know, like a cabinet, which will hold, say, I don't know, maybe 30 pipes. That would suit me down to the ground. Not sure where I've put it though. I've got no wall space in here anymore, so maybe I'll have to put it in place of where the rack is now. But that's what I'd like to get at some point. But they tend to be quite expensive. But I'd like that one day, just to help keep the dust at bay. You know, with the glass panel in the door, so that you can see the pipes. But with doors that were well made, so that they kept the dust out. That's really what I would like at some point. So I shall keep my eye open for when you do make them. And if they're competitively priced, I may have a deal. Do a bit of product placement for you. I suppose I could maybe make a couple of small doors to go on this rack, but this rack isn't quite big enough to keep all the pipes that I smoke on. I do have another one which I haven't put together. I suppose I could put them next to each other. I've got room to put a second one next to it, and then just put doors on that. I suppose I could do that. Olive wood, that's nice. Well, you've got them in sheet form. Very nice. Well, like I said, Alex, if you can make one that would hold about 30 pipes with doors on, with glass in it, I'd be interested. Maybe we can talk offline. I'll drop you an email possibly, and maybe if you're prepared to do that, you give me an idea of what the cost is. Maybe I'll commission it. Maybe see a sample first, and maybe do it to the dimensions that will fit my wall here, and make a little display out of it. That would be cool. If I could get, because I've really contracted my pipe collection down. I mean, I've got a box of pipes which, there's probably about 30 or 40 pipes in there, but I don't smoke them, and they're going to be on the market. From, you know, some of them have been on already, some of them haven't. But you know, when I do my sales from time to time, but the ones that I actually smoke is really quite contracted now, because I'm fairly contracted in terms of there's tobaccos that I smoke, so I just don't need such a wide variety of pipes. So I've kind of decided that 30 is a good number, and I want to try and keep my number down to 30 at all times. So if I buy a new pipe, then I need to sell a pipe. So if I have a pipe cabinet which has a capacity of, say, 30 or whatever, 35 or 34, then then I kind of will have a way of sort of keeping to that and making sure that the pipes that my collection has to fit in the cabinet. Otherwise, that kind of thing. I mean, it's not going to be a hard and fast rule, but it's an idea. I'm never hard and fast about stuff like that. Okay, so that's the pipe stained up. We're going to leave it for a few hours, possibly overnight, and get on with the next pipe soon. So for now, I'm going to wish you all well. Wish you all a happy Sunday. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of yours. I think I shall go and have something to eat. Thanks for staying with me. We've been, what, 2 hours, almost 2.25 hours. Oh, well, there we go. Hope that's been enjoyable for you. Thank you very much, everybody. Catch you on the next one.